Okay, so today we got ChatGPT 5.4, and this is their first native model to support computer use and vision. What does that mean? It means that ChatGPT 5.4 can actually use your computer. It can move the mouse, it can click on keys, it can click on the keyboard, it can do many things. Additionally, it has a 1 million token context window, which means agents can plan, execute, and verify tasks at long horizons. You can work on one thing for a long time without it actually losing context. Now, I think that the real power comes from combining its 1 million token context window with its improved vision capabilities and its native computer use. Because what that means is you can give it an instruction. It has the ability to take screenshots of your screen, map out the mouse coordinates, send the mouse to click there, and type out. And you can do it for long processes of tasks because of how many tokens the context window is. And its improved reasoning model means that it's actually pretty fast. So if you want to read all about that, it's all in this GPT 5.4 document that OpenAI released, where you can see here this is the first general purpose model with computer use, and these are capabilities that are native to the model, meaning you don't actually have to run anything external in order to access these kind of capabilities. So that's a lot of talking. Let me show you a real example of what it means to have computer use and vision natively in ChatGPT 5.4. Okay, so here I have ChatGPT 5.4 running, and I know it looks like a pretty bland screen or probably something that isn't too exciting, but just watch what this thing can do. For example, I could just say open Chrome, go to YouTube, search for AI agents, and play the first video. All right, so what's going to happen now is it's going to map out everything. So as you can see, it found Google Chrome. My hands are here. I'm not doing anything. Located the search bar. Now it's typed in YouTube. All right, we want to see if it's able to now locate the other search bar, which it has. It puts the term in AI agents, and I want to see if it can click enter. And now it needs to play the first video, and it skipped over the ad, which is pretty cool. And so now that the task is completed, you can see it says here, task complete. Oh, sorry. Task complete. All right, so I'm going to show you guys how to build this, and it's really, really simple. It doesn't take much skill at all. You don't need to be able to write any code or anything like that. And not to mention, all of the files you're going to need are already preloaded for you, and they're in the description, and you can grab them all from there. Okay, cool. So when you open up the link in the description, it's going to take you to a Google Drive. And all you need to have to do this is a ChatGPT API key. If you don't know how to get one, it's really simple. You can find a bunch of tutorials online. I'll show you how to get one right now really quickly. And you need some kind of IDE like anti-gravity or something. Or Cursor could also work, and Claude Code can also work. So all right, so when you open up the drive, it's gonna take you to this zip file which contains these files in it. And when you go to antigravity.google, this is how you can install the IDE for your system. It's very easy to use. It'll give you something that looks like this when you finally open it. You'll get something like this. So you just need to install it from here. And as far as getting an API key goes, what you need to go to is the developer settings for ChatGPT. And then you can just, for example, do API keys, press enter. All right, so you just open this platform.openai.com. You can log in, so I'll log in here. Okay, so you'll go here, and obviously there's the 5.4. Click on API keys. I have a bunch of API keys already, but you just have to click on create new secret key. Fill in information. You need to add a credit card so that it can actually bill you, and I think it bills you a minimum of $5 US. All right. Anyway, so you just need to have those things set up, and you're pretty much good to go after that. Okay. Now, once you come here, all you want to do is download the zip, which is called computer agent -zip. And I'm just going to go ahead and unzip that. And that's going to give me this folder called computer agent. Now, you simply open up the IDE that you installed. Probably it's anti-gravity because anti-gravity is free. And you just grab the folder and just drop it in. All right. So when you do that, you should get these files here. There's a screen.py, a readme, a controls, a brain, an agent. And what you want to do now is set up your env file for your API key. So we'll make a new file. We'll call it .env. And here, all you're going to do is put your API key, and it obviously continues on, but by the time you actually do it, it won't look like this, right? It will look like this, but it does continue on for quite a while, and that is your API key. So make sure you have the env set up. Okay, next thing you want to do now is see this agent on the right-hand side over here, where you have access to this little chat window. You can pick any model that you want, but Gemini 3 Flash is cheap and it should be perfectly fine for this kind of a use case. So all you want to do is go ahead and tell it to set up a venv and install everything I need. So you'll just say set up a venv and install everything I need for this code base. And then press enter and it will go ahead and take you through how it's gonna make that happen. You don't really need to understand it, to be honest, or anything like that. But you can simply just let it run and do the whole setup for you. So it'll give you a plan that it has. So for example, you see it says implementation plan, create a new virtual environment, create requirements.txt, all of this stuff, and just click on proceed. Now, make sure that your env file actually has a, okay, if you get this, just click on yes. There's a chance that you will have to redo your virtual environment key if it's like not there. And if you notice that some of these files have this italic font here, it's because there's been a change and they need to be saved. So you can just press on Control S to save these, but it will do it itself later on. Or it should be done any minute now because it's already on the final step of verifying the changes. You can always see what had changed by clicking on review changes if you want. You don't have to do that. You can also just like view the edited file, which is this one, and press accept. Once you press accept, there's no more changes to be accepted. So you see it says I have completed the setup of the virtual environment and installed all requirement dependencies. You can find a summary of the file and all of that stuff. Okay, now what I want to explain to you guys is only one technicality, like one technical thing that I want you guys to understand is that here we've chosen the model as GPT 5.4, and this is where you decide what model you're going to use. Now there is another file inside of the link in the description which isn't really included in this. All you have to do is click on new file and then write test-key.py, and this file is already there. You can just drag it and drop it in, and this will allow us to test if your API key that you put in the env file is actually working. So for that to be the case, we're gonna have to run this. Now you can see that we can swap out the model by controlling this. We can put 5.1, we can put 4.5, we can put any GPT model that we want to test. So just to test it out before this actually runs, and you can ignore these little red and green things. That's just the AI suggesting to us what it thinks we should do. We don't actually, obviously, we don't have to do what it says, but it's just a good suggestion to have. So to test if your key is actually working, you want to click on terminal and click on new terminal. All right, you can use this thing to make it smaller or bigger. It's not really of much use right now, to be honest. Go here and you want to simply write test.venv/bin/python and then run test-key, sorry, test-key.py. And what we're hoping for is some response from the thing. Okay, so it says hello, which means that it's running perfectly fine. Now you can see, for example, make this, let's just say 4.1, and I save it and I run this again. We're going to get a different answer because now it's going to be using GPT 4.1, which as we know is a more personal and more friendly model compared to 5.4. Okay, so anyways, let's switch it back to 5.4. And if you don't want to run it yourself, you can simply, sorry, you can open up the toggle agent with this over here, and you can say, give me the run command. And it gives it to you right here. So you can just copy this, paste it in there, and press enter. Now you can see it says, what would you like me to do? So here's where you can give it any command that you want about using your screen. So for example, I could tell it to open Notion and create a new page called Systems Engineering. Now I'll send that and it's gonna begin doing its thing. It's found my Notion. It's hopefully gonna see the new page. It's very small. It's in the corner. Okay, there it's got new page. And now I want to see if it can type the name. I told it to call it Systems Engineering. Done. Just like that. And you can see now it says here, task complete. So it's going to be just as easy for you to do it too. Well, there you have it. Congratulations. You officially used 5.4 vision capability. It's huge context window to be able to actually control your laptop, your mouse, and your keyboard simply by giving it a command. You can give it more complex commands, tell it to open Safari and log you in to your LinkedIn page, then go to your documents folder, pick a folder, go back to LinkedIn, upload that folder as has a PDF in it, write a post and post it. You can do a whole bunch of stuff with it because it's an extremely intelligent model. So anyways, I hope you liked it and I'll see you in the next one when we take this even further and talk about other things you can do like automating repetitive business activities and things like that.